Okay, I think we're all set. Good afternoon and welcome to the second week of the live Health New England Where Your Health Matters webinar series. My name is Michael Rosenfield. I'm the Director of Business Development at Health New England. Today, we're very excited to talk to you about the importance of proper ergonomics, which is the study of people in their working environment. Thank you all for being with us today. Our mission at Health New England is to improve the health and lives of people in our communities, which is why we've shared this series with you on ways to stay healthy as the pandemic continues to affect all of our daily lives. All webinars in this series are recorded and they can be found on our Health New England YouTube page shortly after this live presentation. You'll receive a follow-up email with the YouTube link and the survey link. We will also post the survey link in the chat at the end of today's presentation. Your feedback is very important to us, so thank you for taking the time to complete it. Today's presenter is Morgan Sutherland, the owner of Fit Ergonomics and a certified massage therapist with over 20 years of experience helping thousands of clients manage chronic and acute neck, back, and shoulder pain. He's also a self-published author, having written numerous books about reversing bad posture and back pain. He has also recently become an advanced office ergonomics assessment specialist through the Back School of Atlanta. Currently, Morgan offers an ergonomic assessment service that includes an on-site ergonomic evaluation of your work or home office setup to improve your comfort and to increase your productivity while minimizing risk of injury. Today, we'll discuss practical ergonomic solutions to improve your comfort, productivity, and keep you safe from overuse injuries while working remotely. We will learn common risk factors for ergonomic injuries, the importance of neutral postures while working from home, as well as best practices for setting up your home office workstation. Morgan will also lead us through some stretches and self-massages. If you have a question and you'd like it answered at the end of the presentation, please enter that in the Q&A, not the chat. And you're also able to ask a question anonymously if you prefer. We hope you enjoyed today's webinar, and please welcome Morgan Sutherland.
Great. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So welcome to Work From Home Ergonomics 101. So in this presentation, you'll learn practical ergonomic solutions for working from home to improve your comfort, productivity, and keep you safe from getting injured. You'll learn common ergonomic risk factors that can lead to musculoskeletal injuries, the warning signs and symptoms of an injury, the importance of neutral postures while working from home, as well as some best practices for setting up your home office workstation. You'll also learn 3 micro breaks that can help you recharge so you can prevent burnout. And lastly, you'll learn how to de-stress at your desk using breath work, self-massage, and stretches. So my name is Morgan Sutherland, and I've been a massage therapist for over 20 years and a certified ergonomics assessment specialist. I've self-published numerous books on Amazon about fixing bad posture and getting rid of back pain. I've created 3 online courses about cupping, back pain, and posture, and I also run a health and wellness blog. So growing up, my father, a documentary filmmaker, suffered from chronic neck and shoulder pain, which I'm convinced was caused by the countless hours that he spent sitting twisted like a pretzel in front of his editing machine. Now, he would get tremendous relief from weekly massages, yet he'd always spring back to that pretzel-like posture, and that vicious cycle of pain would continue. Now, years later, I built a reputation for myself as a massage therapist who specialized in chronic pain. And after working on thousands of clients, I realized that the root cause of their discomfort stemmed in many cases from their poor posture and ergonomics. So when the pandemic struck and so many people started working from home, I hit the pause button on my massage business and pursued my passion for posture. This led me to get certified as an ergonomics specialist and soon after launch Fit Ergonomics. So since COVID, there seems to be a growing trend of companies embracing the new hybrid work from home model. In many cases, employees find themselves working even harder than before to justify not being physically present at work, which can leave them feeling tired and used up and drained by the end of the workday. And parents who work from home have the added pressure of juggling their work schedules amidst the distraction of childcare. Now, while some companies provide work from home stipends, many employees don't have the same setup at home that they had at work. Research has shown that about 72% of workers don't have a dedicated office space, and over half of them aren't working from a dedicated desk. Now, without having a correctly set up workstation and neutral working postures, the chances of getting an injury is just a matter of time. This is why it's important to understand basic ergonomic principles while working from home, so you can be more comfortable and productive without getting hurt. So what exactly is ergonomics? Ergonomics is the science of fitting the job to the worker to maximize productivity while reducing discomfort, fatigue, and injury. In the reverse scenario, when you fit the person to the job, you can end up with awkward, forceful postures, which can result in an injury. Now, there are 4 main risk factors to be aware of while working from home, and they are posture, repetition, force, and contact stress, and they are all dependent upon the frequency and duration of your exposure to that risk. So when you can identify these risk factors early enough, you can prevent the onset of a work-related injury. So the first risk factor is posture, awkward posture. Awkward postures are when you maintain an unsupported static posture or non-neutral posture for 2 hours or more. Awkward postures like bending and reaching and twisting, they can fatigue your muscles and slow down your blood flow, and you may begin to feel tired. This can easily create more opportunities for error and make you less efficient and decrease your efficiency, your productivity, and accuracy. So many of us can relate to this picture working at the kitchen table, and it might look completely normal. So you might think to yourself, what's wrong with that? Well, let's look at her strengths. Her back is pretty straight. She has good lighting. The room decor is peaceful, and she's not wearing socks. So either the sock fairy stole them out of her laundry basket, or she has control over her thermostat. Now let's look at some opportunities for improvement. So the first thing that stands out is that her desk height is a little too high for her, and she has to perch forward in her chair to use her laptop, leaving her lower back unsupported. And since she's using a laptop, she has to tilt her head down to view the screen. And to type, she has to hunch her shoulders and then lean into that hard table edge and then extend her wrists upward. And lastly, her feet are pointing down and not flat on the floor. So this awkward or non-neutral sitting posture might be comfortable for an hour or so, but beyond that, it becomes a risk factor for numerous ergonomic injuries, such as neck strain, carpal tunnel, and low back pain. The second risk factor is repetition. So when you perform the same task repeatedly, it doesn't give your muscles and tendons enough time to recover. One example is typing for 2 hours or more without breaks. Repetition, when combined with awkward postures, can be the perfect catalyst for an injury. If your workstation is set up so that you need to reach for your mouse repeatedly, don't be surprised if you start to experience stiffness and soreness in your shoulder. Similar repetitions can occur when using a mouse, and the work hazard may be even greater because the motions only involve a few fingers on one hand. The third risk factor is force. When you're dealing with high pressure work deadlines, you can find yourself gripping your mouse harder than you're aware of, or even typing faster with more force. If it works for you, consider getting a keyboard with smaller or flatter keys if you're finding that it requires too much force for you to type. Or you might even consider taking a break from typing altogether and use voice-activated software like text-to-speech. The fourth risk factor is contact stress. Contact stress is when you have continuous pressure for 2 hours or more against the wrist rest, work surface edge, or arm rest with your wrists, forearms, or elbows. When your muscle tissues get compressed, the underlying ulnar nerve also gets compressed, leading to numbness, tingling, pain, and even muscle weakness. A few do-it-yourself solutions are to cushion the hard table edge with a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of foam pipe insulation tube. You slice that in half. You can pick that up at your local hardware store. That's about the $2 option. Or you could go to a website like alimed.com and purchase a vinyl foam edge protector. This runs about $35. So the big takeaway about risk factors is that you want to ask yourself, has my risk changed in my new working environment? You need to become more mindful of your posture and your safety, and think about how often and how long you may be exposing yourself to any of these risk factors so you don't end up getting an injury. So now that you know the risk factors, the next step is to recognize warning signs and symptoms of an injury, as they can indicate potential for an ergonomic risk at your workstation. So some common warning signs that are indicators of ergonomic risk are redness or swelling around the affected joint. The skin around the area is warm to the touch, and you might experience a reduced range of motion for that affected joint. Some warning symptoms that you might experience include fatigue, soreness, achiness, burning, clumsiness, stiffness, tenderness, tingling, numbness, weakness, and change of skin color. This graphic illustrates that when you're exposed to any of these ergonomic risk factors repeatedly or for long periods, and you don't address any of the warning signs and symptoms, you might experience pain or discomfort. However, a thorough ergonomic assessment can help stop the progression of that injury. In the following slides, you're going to learn how to self-assess your body posture and adjust your workstation setup to fit you like a glove so you can work more comfortably, safely, and efficiently. Now, when you work in neutral postures, you reduce the stress on your muscles and joints, which decreases your risk of getting injured. So you know you're sitting correctly in neutral posture. When your ears are in line with your shoulders, your head, neck, and trunk are facing forward. Your shoulders are relaxed and slightly pulled back, and your elbows are close to your body and bent about at a 90-degree angle. And your back is flush against your chair's back, and the S-curve of your lower back is supported. And your thighs are parallel to the floor, and your knees are level or slightly lower than your hips. And there's no pressure on the back of your knees. And lastly, your feet are resting comfortably flat on the floor or on a footrest. Now, there are 5 essential elements of your home office setup, and they include your chair, your monitor, keyboard, mouse, and how you organize your computer workstation. Now, when you're setting up your home office, your primary goal should be to find a dedicated workspace for keying, mousing, and writing. Try decluttering your work surface and keep surge protectors and wires organized and tucked away to prevent tripping over them. You want to ensure you have sufficient lighting, preferably natural light, and set your monitor perpendicular to the window to prevent glare. And if you find yourself squinting a lot and leaning forward because it's hard to see the screen, consider using glare screens or blackout blinds. Now, given your unique situation, having a dedicated and reliable workstation might not be feasible. So wherever you choose to set up, you'll probably have to get creative to make your physical workspace support your body in a neutral posture. So if you find yourself getting stressed by external noise and it's affecting your focus, try using a headset or noise-canceling headphones. Now, comfort and good posture are key to being more productive at work, even if you're working from home. Sitting with a slouch posture on a lousy chair can tighten and fatigue your back muscles. And if your low back is unsupported, it can put too much pressure on your spinal discs. That's why it's recommended to have an adjustable chair if possible. Now, there are 7 features that an office chair should include, and they are the chair height, seat pan tilt, seat pan depth, that's when you can move it forwards and backwards. The armrest should be able to adjust up and down and then in and out. there should be an adjustable lumbar support that goes up and down and also has a tilting functionality. And lastly, there should be 5 caster wheels for greater stability. Now you want to avoid the couch or bed as your makeshift workspace, even if it feels cozy, as they can lead to slouch postures and put too much pressure on your spine and wreak havoc on your back over the long term. And the same goes for exercise balls. You want to save those for your home gym workouts and not as your permanent office chair, as research has shown that it can encourage slouching and lead to back problems. Now, when it comes to monitors, the 2 factors to consider are height and distance. If your monitor height is too high, you have to tilt your head back up to look up at it. But then if it's set too low, then you'll need to fight gravity to resist forward head posture. Over time, either of these situations can cause neck tension and headaches. As a general rule, the closer you are to your monitor, the harder your eyes need to work to keep the image in focus. So you want to make sure that your monitor is adjusted correctly and positioned in front of you at about an arm's length away. And the top line of print is slightly below eye level. And the screen is readable while sitting against your chair's back, and there's no glare on the screen. Now, if you're using multiple monitors, you want to position the primary monitor directly in front of you, and the other monitors at about a 30-degree angle off to the side, so you can still view them comfortably without needing to rotate your head. Now, if you're using both monitors equally, then you want to position them angled in a semicircle, and the tops of the monitors should all be about at the same height. Next up, let's look at the keyboard. So you know that your work surface and your keyboard are at the right height when your neutral elbow height is slightly higher than your work surface height, and your wrists are straight in a neutral position so that you can naturally float them, so you can actually float your fingers over the keyboard. Now, there's often a mismatch between your chair's height and desk height when working from home, which makes it challenging to keep your elbows close to your body. So if you don't have an adjustable chair, you need to get creative. As Steve Jobs once said, creativity is just connecting things. So one solution is to elevate your seat with pillows and cushions, support your low back with a rolled up towel or lumbar pad, and then raise your laptop onto textbooks so that your monitor is closer to eye level. In this scenario, you will need an external keyboard and mouse. Split keyboards are a good option for individuals with broader shoulders, as they can help prevent wrist deviation. If you don't use a 10-key number pad, then maybe a more narrow keyboard might be a better fit for you, or one with a detachable number pad, as that can provide more room for your mouse. Speaking of which, you want to position your mouse close to your keyboard and make sure that your hand is straight and in line with your forearm. You want to move the mouse as one unit to prevent side bending and to eliminate any non-neutral wrist posture. Now, if you have too small or too big a mouse, you can find yourself over gripping it, which can be a risk factor for force. So you want to use a loose grip rather than a tight grip to control your mouse. Now, if you're experiencing numbness or tingling in your hand, and you might want to look into getting a vertical mouse, as I use right now. A vertical mouse will keep your hand in a thumbs up posture, minimize wrist extension, and then reduce the pressure on your carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel is right in here. So depending on the job tasks that you need to complete, you might find a completely different mouse style that works better for you. So maybe a roller mouse would be a better fit, as it promotes a more neutral wrist posture, and you won't ever need to move away from the keyboard. When it comes to working safely, you want to organize your workspace so there's no need to overreach in any direction. All tasks that you continuously do, from your elbows to your fingertips, like using your keyboard and mouse, should be done in what's called your primary work zone. Your secondary zone is reserved for things you occasionally reach for at about an arm's length away, like a headset or notepad. And then all things that you seldomly use during your workday should be placed furthest away from you. Also, you might want to consider distributing things on both your right and left side so that you don't end up overusing one arm more than the other. The last thing I'll mention in terms of your home office setup is document holders. This can be helpful if you transcribe things and prevent neck strain from repeatedly looking down at your desk and then up at your computer. You want to position your document holder so that it's in your line of sight. A good location is next to the monitor or between the monitor and the keyboard. This way, you can shift your view between the document and the monitor by moving only your eyes and not your head. Now, working remotely has so many advantages, like cutting your commute time by 100%, saving money on gas, fewer distractions, and rocking cozy pajamas in the daytime. However, sedentary lifestyles and physical inactivity can leave you feeling sluggish and make it hard to concentrate and focus. It can also lead to adverse health outcomes like increased chances of cardiovascular disease, cancer, and diabetes. The less we move, the less nutrient-rich oxygenated blood can circulate through our bodies. This prevents our muscles from restoring themselves. That said, it's essential to break up your workday by inserting micro breaks to prevent fatigue and keep yourself from squinting and slouching and hunching. So the 3 micro breaks I'll cover are vision, posture, and mental. Micro break number 1 is vision ergonomics using the 20-20-20 rule. So every 20 minutes, you want to shift your eyes to look at something 20 feet away for about 20 seconds. This helps give your eyes a rest and prevents eye strain. Using the 20-20-20 rule allows your eyes to recalibrate, especially when looking at a screen. We tend not to blink a lot when staring at screens, which can be straining on the eyes and cause us to lean closer to the monitor, which then can lead to forward head posture and rounded shoulders. A few other tips are to use the palming technique. So that's where you place your palms over your eyes for about 20 seconds, just lightly. And don't forget to clean your monitor screen weekly and then get your eyes checked annually. Micro break number 2 is posture ergonomics using the 28-2 rule. So the more frequently we change our postures, the less tired we feel by the end of the workday. So it's good to take micro breaks from repetitive tasks or static postures every half hour or so for a few minutes before resuming that activity or posture. A Cornell University study recommends 28-2. So in a 30-minute session, you would sit for 20 minutes, stand for 8 minutes, and then move for 2 minutes. If you calculate that over an 8-hour workday, that's roughly 16 times you're going from sitting to standing. Now, using a sit-stand workstation, like in this photo here, allows you to go from a seated to standing position, which decreases your muscle fatigue and takes the pressure off of your lower back. A cost-effective solution for standing desks is to be resourceful with what you already have around the house. So pull out that folded up ironing board from the closet or a stack of toilet paper, and you're golden. Now remember these 3 tips when using a standing desk. Your monitor height should be slightly lower than your eye height and then tilted back about 15 degrees. Your desk height should be slightly lower than your elbow height when it's bent approximately 90 degrees. And then when in a standing position or workspace, you want to stand on something soft or wear running shoes. The third and final micro break is mental or cognitive ergonomics using the Pomodoro technique. So after 20 to 25 minutes, take a break. It gives your brain small moments of offline time to reflect and practice mindfulness. So just open up a new tab on your browser and search for Pomodoro timer, and then you'll find numerous websites like this one here, tomatotimer.com. So the common factor that we can take about the 3 micro breaks is that about every 20 minutes or so is a perfect time to change your posture and take a break. In ergonomics, they say your best posture is your next posture. So tune into your body. When your fanny says it's been sitting too long, you stand. And when your feet say they've been standing too long, you sit. So I did cover quite a bit here. So if you need a quick review, you can download this helpful checklist where you can find it at fitergonomics.com/checklist. So now we're going to move into the de-stress at your desk portion of the webinar. And these also are included on that checklist. So here I will be sharing some helpful breath work, self-massage, and stretching techniques. So monks from Eastern traditions were essentially scientists. They recognized that a wild mind could affect our health. So they used meditation techniques to relieve stress so that they could stay in balance throughout the day. So whenever you start to feel irritated or stressed out, you can use vagal tone breathing to help boost the relaxation response of your parasympathetic nervous system to calm you down. So to do it, you want to take slow, relaxed, full breaths in through your nose for 4 seconds, and then exhale through your mouth twice as long for about 8 seconds. And you want to shrug your shoulders up in sync with your breath. So you move your shoulders up with the inhale, and then you roll them back, squeezing those shoulder blades together and down on the exhale. And as you breathe, it's okay if your mind starts to wander and you stop focusing on your breath. Just become aware of it and then come back to the breath and focus on it again. This is the essence of mindfulness, attention to awareness with acceptance. So let's try this 3 times. So we're going to take an inhale in through your nose, and then you roll the shoulders back and down, squeezing those shoulder blades together on the exhale, okay? Inhale in through your nose, 4 seconds, roll those shoulder blades back, squeeze them together on the exhale, okay? One more time. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and exhale. Great. Okay, so now I'm going to unshare my screen. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. So now we're going to move into the self-massage and stretching sequence. So the first self-massage technique is called a rake and twist. So you take your left hand, place it on the back of your neck, and you want to have your thumbs down, pinky side up, and then you're going to look to the right, and then on the inhale, you're going to tighten your fingertips and exhale and slowly turn your head toward your left elbow as you rake your fingers across the back of your neck, the top of the side. So we're going to be doing it 3 sections, the top of the neck, middle, and then the lower portion of the neck, all right? So inhale, look to the right, and exhale and rake those fingers across the back of the neck, looking toward your left elbow. Okay, one more time. Inhale, look to the right, and then as you exhale, tighten those fingers and rake them and drag them across the back of the neck as you look toward your left elbow. Great. Now you're going to switch sides. Right hand, back of the neck, pinky side up, thumb down. Look to the left, inhale, and as you exhale, tighten those fingertips and slowly rake your fingers across and look toward your right elbow. So I'll show you what this looks like from the back. Just like that, okay? So inhale, look to the left, and exhale and slowly drag your fingers across the back of your neck looking toward your right elbow. And then one more time, okay? Inhale, look to the left, and then slowly exhale and drag your fingertips across the back of your neck looking toward your right elbow. Great, okay. That second move
is called a lobster claw. So you're going to place your hand back of your neck just as we did before, but this time, right hand, the back of the neck, you're going to have your hand open. As you look up, you're going to inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to bring your chin to your chest like this, and then like a lobster claw, you're going to pinch and pull the muscle tissue away. So you're kind of stretching it as you bring your chin towards your chest, just like this. Okay? So we're going to do it in 3 different sections: top, middle, and the lower part where your shoulder's attached to the neck. So inhale, look up, and then pinch your fingers together and bring your chin to your chest. So you inhale, look up, and exhale, pulling that muscle tissue away, bring your chin towards your chest. Okay, and then bring your hands down a little bit. Okay, inhale, open palm, and then exhale, pinch those fingers together like this, chin to your chest. Great. Now you're going to switch hands. Left hand on the back of your neck, thumb down, pinky side up. This. Okay. This really helps to loosen up the back of the neck muscles that can get really tight during our workday. Inhale and exhale and pull that muscle tissue away, chin to chest. Exhale. So let it kind of slip out of your fingertips, okay? Now we move down to the middle portion of the neck. Look up, open palm, and inhale, and then exhale, and then pull it away, chin to chest. Last time, open palm, look up, and inhale, and then exhale, pull that muscle tissue away and drag it away, and then bring your chin towards your chest. Great. Now we're going to do a move called pinch, lift, and lateral flex. I know it's a lot of words, but so I'm going to start on my left side. So I take my right hand. I'll be using that for massage. My left hand holds the elbow, okay, right in the palm. I'm going to pinch my upper trapezius, okay, right sort of at the top part. We're going to do this 3 times. So top here, middle, and then the lower part right before the shoulder. Okay, so we're going to inhale, and you're going to pinch and lift that muscle tissue up a little bit. And then exhale, and you're going to bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Okay, ready? Sometimes you might even feel a little pop in the neck. That's completely normal. So grab, pinch, lift, and then lateral flex, ear to shoulder. So you can actually hold it there for just a few seconds. Inhale and exhale, ear to shoulder, right ear to right shoulder. Lower your hand a little bit, grab that muscle tissue. Inhale and exhale, ear to shoulder. It's a lateral flexion. Okay, you can feel the muscle tissue pulling away from your fingertips. That's great. And then one more time, right at the base right there. Okay, so inhale, ear to shoulder. Great. Okay, now if you're finding it's hard to grip, you can just use the fingertips to pinch, to kind of push down, right? And then you're going to lateral flex this way again, ear to shoulder. So instead of the pinching, it's just a little more of a pinch, pinning and stretching. Inhale and exhale. And you do the same thing down the upper trapezius. We're going to switch sides now, okay? It's 3 times. So grip it. Now you're going to place your right hand in your left elbow. Okay, inhale. And then exhale, ear to shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. Okay, move it down a little bit. Inhale and exhale and stretch, ear to shoulder. right? Move down a little bit more. Inhale, and then ear to shoulder. Left ear to left shoulder. Great. And then if gripping is too much for you, you're going to use the tips of your fingers to pin it and ear to shoulder. Now, if you're finding a knot in this area, what you can do is you can then kind of drag it forward a little bit. You can do a stretch. You can also just drag it forward, pinning it, pressure, and then release, kind of dragging it forward. Kind of like going down a slide. Okay. Now we're going to do some stretches. So the first move is actually, it's called a chin tuck. Chin tucks are a neck retraction exercise. So it helps to strengthen your neck. And from all the forward head posture that you do when you're typing and working on your computers during the day. So to do it, you take your index and middle finger, place it on your chin, and then you push your head straight back, all right, making sure your chin is parallel to the floor. Hold it there for about 3 to 5 seconds. And the more of a double chin you make, the better. So pressure in, hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, and then release. Okay, so imagine like a chicken clucking. It's going to be moving forward like that. Now you can do this exercise in a car when you're parked against the headrest. You can do it lying on the floor or in bed. You just pretty much, you want to kind of push your head straight back and hold it there for about 3 to 5 seconds. So we'll do that one more time. So inhale. You can actually, with your breath, you can kind of inhale and exhale. It doesn't really matter. It's more of that pushing. A double chin move, okay? Next, we're going to do a lateral flexion, which we had done sort of before, but this way, we're going to do it a little more focused. So I'm sitting in an adjustable chair, so I have to move to the end of the chair. I'm going to be stretching this way, okay? So I'm stretching the right side of my neck. So my right hand is anchoring down straight. I can place it behind my back. I can hook my hands underneath the bottom of the seat. And I take my left hand, I drape it over my head, right above my ear, and then slowly bring my left ear to my left shoulder. Hold it there. Now you can do 2 seconds. So I like to do 2 seconds about 10 to 20 times. But for this, we're just going to do it 3 times, okay? So inhale and exhale. Now make sure you have a little bit of a chin tuck when you're doing this, because you don't want your head to be forward and then stretching. So a little bit of a chin tuck and ear to shoulder. Okay, just like that. Switch sides. Left hand, anchor straight down. Right hand, draped over your head. Okay, make sure that this left hand's straight down or behind your back or holding underneath the seat, so it's pushed down. And then right, a little bit of a chin tuck. And then ear to shoulder, 2 seconds. So inhale and exhale. Now you can get a little bit more of a stretch in the levator scapula muscle, which just by tilting your head a little bit to a 45-degree angle, and then kind of looking at the opposite knee or armpit, and then pushing down that way. So ear to shoulder, and then tilt it a little bit, 45 degrees. That's levator scapula. That helps to elevate your shoulder. Right, the last move is a 2-sequence stretch. So it looks like this. Shoulder squeeze, neck extension, and then interlace fingers, curling your body forward, okay? Belly button toward the spine, exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right, you do it. Let's do it 3 times. Inhale, shoulder squeeze, W position, neck extension. Inhale, exhale, interlace fingers, curl forward. Look down, chin to chest. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, shoulder squeeze, neck extension. And exhale, curl your body forward, chin the chest, belly button in to your spine. Last time. And exhale. Excellent. I think we have time for one more move. It's going to be a side bend. So to do this, we're going to be stretching this whole side of us, okay? The whole, your side, your flank. So you'll take your left hand, place it on your right knee, and you reach over your ear and stretch. Feet are flat on the floor. Stretch. Okay, you can hold that stretch for about 10 seconds, 20 seconds, so you feel a good opening of the side. It actually also helps the part of the rotator cuff muscles. There's a muscle deep in your armpit, which not many people know about, which is the cause of a lot of rotator cuff issues, called subscapularis. Okay, so this is a great stretch for opening up that muscle here, which can get really tight when you're sitting and your rounded shoulders when you're typing. Switch sides, left hand, right knee. Actually, I'm sorry, opposite. Right hand, left knee, and the reach over. It's good to exhale on the stretch. Okay, great. Well, I think Julia is going to close you out now, but thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Morgan. I think we all had some creaks and cracks going on there, so thank you so much. It felt good. I think we have time for one question. We did have one question in the chat that I wanted to bring up, and maybe you can either answer this now or we can have the information in our follow-up email. But it says, can you recommend several options for supportive office chair, the make and the model?
Well, a common chair that keeps coming back to me is a Ergocentric. I believe the name is Ergocentric, is a popular brand. I mean, it's probably in the same price point as Human Scale's Freedom Chair, I think it's called. That's their marketed ergonomic, like work from home chair. So Human Scale's Freedom Chair or Ergocentric, which I believe, I'm not sure where you can find that, but if you look up like ergo, E-R-G-O, centric, C-E-N-T-R-I-C chair, that's a popular model. And I can email you if I find another or a link at another time.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I think we all appreciated that, kind of all sitting up a little taller this morning after your presentation. So thank you so much. Everyone, I am Julia Wilkins from the Health Management Program Department at Health New England. So thanks again for joining us. If this is your second week with us, we really appreciate it. And as always, you're going to be sent a follow-up email that I just referenced. In there, what we're going to have is the YouTube link. So Morgan did some great stretches and moves that you probably will want to do again on your own time. So you can watch that video and practice those on your own time, as well as a survey link that I also put in the chat. So we always value your feedback. So please either take the survey now or when you are sent the email tomorrow, that link will be in there as well. Our next webinar is going to be next week, October 19th. We're going to talk about seeking help from a behavior health professional. So there's going to be some great information on how you can not only help yourself in that area, but how to look for the signs and symptoms in those that you love and see if they need help and to help them as well. So it's going to be another good one. Thank you again, Morgan. Thank you all for joining us, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.